I've got a lot to talk about for the next chapter, which does come out in a couple of days. Well, these spoilers at least. So guys, buckle up, because I think Saturn is going to change the entirety of One Piece. Before we talk about the Saturn stuff, let's get the Luffy and Kizaru stuff out the way real quick. Guys, if you're new here, make sure you guys take the time to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate it, and join the community. We're like some rabid animals around here. So, going back to what I said, I think we will see the aftermath of the whole Kizaru and Luffy situation. By the way, a lot of you guys were pressing me about saying Kizaru could have been potentially off guard when Luffy hit him last chapter.
Sorry, bro. I'm the type of nigga stand on business, nigga. One man arm against 50, nigga. What you wanna do that? I stand on business, nigga.
All seriousness, sorry if I sound like I was coping. I don't really care to explain what I meant, but I can see what y'all mean, and the interpretation you guys have is easier, so I'll just go with that. You guys got me, alright? Happy? Doesn't change the fact that Kizaru will be shown walking out that rubble holding his head in the next chapter, which I believe is very possible, because now that Luffy reached his limit, even though it was kind of strange, he said he reached his limit in the chapter, but we do see him like falling down, or he's on the ground and he's still in gear 5, but I expect him not to be, and someone now needs to rescue him. If they're gonna show the aftermath of Luffy, I'm sure they will show us the aftermath of Kizaru. You see how Sanji walked out the rubble after King tried to donut him? Yeah, Kizaru finna be like that. That should be shown next chapter, hopefully, especially if we see Luffy getting taken care of. There's a lot of guys doing a whole lot of nothing that need to get in the field. I'm thinking Jinbei might put down the snacks and go protect Luffy for the time being. Or it could be Robin, Chopper, Nami, Usopp. There's a lot of people. I prefer Robin, to be honest, because I always love when she uses her abilities to save someone. So something else that's very important that's happening that we briefly got a glimpse of last chapter. We didn't even see the fight, but we've seen the people. I'm slowly starting to believe the Zoro and Lucci fight might be off-screen, not gonna lie to you. On some Sukuna type shit, on some Blackbeard type shit. Because Saturn's going on a rampage, well, he's about to. And Kizaru potentially still being active while they have all the Vice Admirals with the pacifistas on the Marine side. We could really use Zoro's help right now, man. Regardless, I think we will see more of that fight in the next chapter. Will Lucci be off-screen the next time we see him? I don't know. Maybe. The stakes on the island are kind of high right now. But if he doesn't get off-screen, I have no doubt the next time we see Lucci and Zoro, they will get a focus on their battle, and Zoro should defeat him without wasting any more time. Unless Lucci really is him and he takes Zoro extreme def, which I doubt. So this chapter is obviously, in my opinion, going to be focused mainly on the Saturn situation. Since that's the cliffhanger we got left on, I think we get revealed to his powers, or should I say more specifically, a new type of power system in One Piece, known as magic. Okay, I might sound a little goofy, but just hear me out. Magic, dark magic, whatever you want to say, because Saturn got some Satan thing he got going on, some devil type stuff, whatever this is, because as we can see, this man last chapter created a whole ritual circle that he spawned out from. This had flames all around it with some black lightning, and then it had like a circle with all these lines. It's like, yo, what kind of demon shit is this guy performing? It's pretty obvious that that's a black magic circle. Saturn got some witchery going on, and that's maybe why the cloak around him in his awakened form, I'm assuming, is black, because he represents darkness or evil. Same with like Rob Lucci, his is black too, and that motherfucker is scum of the scum, and I'm pretty sure Kaku's was black too, right? The most pure-hearted and joyful man, Luffy's awakening cloak is white. And wait, didn't we see Yamato have a white cloak around her too? And we know she's a goody two-shoes just running around the island dumb as fuck. Hold up! What if Kaku and Lucci have their awakenings due to this black magic shit that Saturn got going on? What if the world government's cooking some witchery over there? Because Kaku awakening was kind of crazy to me, I'm not gonna lie. That guy, he awakened before a certain man's. Not to mention, extreme levels of fodder can't even look at Saturn without their brains getting blown out. There has to be some type of magic he got going on. Some type of bullshit. There's also these theories that tie with Mihawk that I'm not gonna discuss in this video, because I think that deserves its own separate video. But man, I really do think we're about to see some different type of power. We're about to enter some different territory in One Piece, because what Saturn was doing and what he's doing right now could be the catalyst to explain a lot of stuff in One Piece. But that's not all to his name when it comes to his strength. Guys, there's most likely something atrocious being set up right now, and I need to let you in on it. As we all know, Saturn is the warrior god of science defense. To put it into simpler terms, the man is going to have an elemental advantage. Assuming his title means he has defenses in place for scientific abilities, the people in front of him are at a disadvantage. Firstly, because we have the greatest scientist known as Vegapunk, and I don't think he's a fighter, but he might have some science weapons in his bag and he might pull it out on some like Dora type shit. Then we got Frankie, who's literally a cyborg that relies on science abilities. And lastly, Sanji, who's literally a scientifically modified human who relies on science as his strength. Even Atlas had the specific scientific gloves she used, so it's no coincidence that Oda has matched Saturn with everyone who relies on science. I think it's because, like his epithet suggests, he has a way to defend against science, or people who rely on science. So in this case, he has a way to defend against all the scientific warriors in front of him right now. And I do think this will somehow play into Saturn's favor. So where does this leave us? Well, as you know, the people who are currently fighting Saturn aren't that strong, except for one man who, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of people don't think he's that strong, but he's pretty strong to the point where he's considered the top 30 strongest characters in the show right now. I do expect some flashy things from Frankie, but the one person who should contribute the most is obviously my GOAT, Sanji. Even though Saturn might be a bad matchup for pretty much everyone there, including Sanji, what he's about to do to Bonnie just might work in Sanji's favor to some extent. As we see in Bonnie stab Saturn, and more than likely in the next chapter, he's probably gonna backhand her or do something to throw her off him. And he could potentially kill her. Sanji, with the power of love this arc, has been something different. He literally turned into some evil guy fighting S.I.Q because he touched Nami. He started zigzagging across Egghead for the sake of Bonnie. The love made him stronger. Bonnie ain't no Nami because, let's be real, Sanji gets a different type of angry specifically for Nami. But Bonnie getting messed up should rile up Sanji and enrage him to the point where we might see a different version of him once again. Some of my subscribers think that this will lead to a Conqueror's Haki awakening, and to that I say, I love you guys, man. Like, honestly, I love the optimism. Don't let these negative Sanji haters bring you down. These guys were telling you Zoro is gonna kill Kaido. You're allowed to say whatever the fuck you want. So the biggest question surrounding Sanji's interaction with Saturn is he gonna be used as a hype tool? Well, to be honest, yes and no. Most likely yes, but that's not a bad thing. My Sanji bros, I'm sorry, but if I had to keep it 100% with you, there's no way Sanji doesn't lose here. He already has a potential bad matchup, and this is one of the top tiers of the series who we're getting introduced to for the first time. And he more than likely is introducing some new type of powers that we never seen before, and they're going to be showcased and fleshed out on these characters right in front of him. So to have Sanji defeat a character who's that important is asking for a lot, but like I said, which could potentially lead him to be a punching bag to showcase Saturn's abilities. Oda does have somewhat of a track record with making Sanji a hype tool for some of these villains like Dofi and Virgo, but in recent times he hasn't really done that. But that doesn't mean Sanji won't get acknowledged or look impressive in these moments where he does look like a hype tool. He beat the fuck out of Virgo before his leg cracked, and Dofi even said he was a stronger one before he dismantled him, and he was fighting guys like Allah right before that. Sanji being enraged undoubtedly could lead to something impressive, and that's all we need, boys. It's fine if he loses because it's a top tier. We can only win from this. If he gets beat up, oh, yo, he's one of the strongest guys in the series. If he does something to him, yo, Sanji's a GOAT. If he does something, then that's a W. If he loses, it's not an L. We don't lose here, guys. I suspect them to possibly try to fight and escape from Saturn, like simultaneously, as Sanji attempts to protect everyone while they try to run away from Saturn. Honestly, it's not a dumb idea if they try to just escape from Saturn, because honestly, that's the whole point of everything right now. They're just trying to escape and these guys are in the way. But you know, people will be caught up in agenda and slandering Sanji if he tries to escape with them and dismiss all type of logic. Because, oh, Sanji can't run from people. He's scared, whatever. Well, that's all I want to touch on. I do expect Sanji to do something noteworthy, but it's very likely, alongside the other scientific weapons, to be outclassed by Saturn. But either way, there's no L we take from this. But that's it, guys. Make sure you guys take the time to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys next time. Peace.